You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Yeah, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and do best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, bunch of train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever.
I'm gonna just take a different take. I kind of feel like the way things are going, they may keep Willie the whole rest of this season. Because they don't seem like they're in a rush to get rid of him. I know that's a stretch, but I'm starting to feel that way. They're just gonna keep him there for this whole season. I don't think they're gonna fire him. I'm looking at the situation.
They don't want to fire him before Christmas.
Huh? No. They didn't do it. If they didn't do it on Black Friday or Cyber,
I won't fire him, but I don't want to fire him on Christmas. How about that?
The thing is, it doesn't matter. But I'm looking at the way that they're moving. They're not. Think about that. They're not. I just don't. Even when everybody gets back, when Zion gets back and things, I think he's still gonna be here.
It's not
because
work.
You know why? Because we want to see. We want to see DeJounte and Zion and Brandon. I feel like they want to see that. And then after they get on the court, it's going to take them a long time to see it. And that small time frame is not going to be really enough to determine, okay, well, who do we want to keep and who do we want to trade? I don't know, man. I just feel like they're not going to let that dude go. They're not going to fire him. And that's my take on it. I really feel like, because there's no report, no rumor, no anything. There's nothing. We're talking about it, but we're not seeing anything that's letting us know that, hey, yeah, we're about to get rid of this dude. Have y'all seen it?
I seen it in terms of the team play.
You talking about Willie or Griff?
I mean, yeah.
In terms of a report,
I don't think they're going to fire him. Even the turn of the year, I think they're going to keep him throughout this whole season. I really do feel that way.
He's gone,
because they're not doing anything.
He definitely, yeah, Lex. I'm not just
you can't have a season and where you make it through 30 games and you only won 5. The Saints and the Pelicans are tied for wins.
Look, does this not equate to bad? Like, this is bad right now.
It is.
And he's
but
still
I'm saying
there.
They have to separate from him at the next season. Like, if there's any type of desire to sell winning to the people, you can't go and have a disastrous season and nothing happens. It's one thing if you had like all young players and guys that need experience or whatever, then right. I get what you're saying. But we pulled off a trade. We went all in. like
Yep.
and trying to win.
I'm looking at the actions, though. The
You're not
action.
everybody don't
they're
fire their
not-
coach during the season, no, Lex.
What?
What action
We've
would
seen this before.
No. We have,
The
but I
thing
said
is, the Pelicans are not
everybody-
thirsty to win. They don't have that pedigree. They don't have it. And so the thing, like you said, there's no pressure.
What action you looking for to signal to you that they will fire him once the season is over? That you're not seeing. I understand he's not being fired during the season right now. But what action would you need to see that would make you confident they're gonna get?
Let me ask you this: are we still looking for the Pelicans to try and win this season? Are we totally locked in on the tanking? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this supposed to be a win now team?
Yep.
Okay, so
you can't be win now. You 5 and
like what's
25.
the vision here? What's the direction? And if everything you said yes, Big Q. So if all that is true,
that's what they said. The plan was the plan when they came in.
Why is this nigga still here, man? Why is he here? Why is it taking you so long?
What?
Okay.
Bro, what are you talking about?
So long. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like you got to be kind of ornery. If that is the goal, if the goal is to win, why is this dude still here? Why are these dudes? Why are you taking so long? Why are you taking so much time? When if you put, and we've all seen when Borrego steps in, we see that this team plays different. And I know that's a small. That's a small.
Hold on, DC, let Lex cook.
I think I know that's a small sample, but the thing is, what purpose is this serving by you keeping this dude if you are trying to win now? And that's the future. That's the vision. Because you went out and you got a veteran point guard in DeJounte, right? Yep. You don't go out and get veteran players, okay, along with young talent, and you're not trying to win.
Right.
Name me one team that does that, and they're not trying to win.
And don't forget they're trying to trade BI too now. Don't forget they're trying to trade BI.
We don't even know if they're doing that. Right now, listen. Right now, who's untouchable is Trey Murphy, Yves Missi, and Herb Jones.
So if that's untouchable,
and we don't even know if that's true.
Hold on, DC, let her finish your thought, brother.
But that's what I'm saying. We're hearing a lot of different reports. But if it like now they down, and that was just a week ago. Hey, we're down to trading anybody. They're trying to test the market on everybody but those three. I'm just saying, like, look, y'all need to get y'all's vision together. That's what's hurting this team. You need to get your direction together. Because right now, DC, I've been saying this, it can get worse because you're losing time. Time is precious. It's more precious than money. You can't get that time back. You can't get it back. You know, that's just like somebody going to prison for like 30 years. They didn't commit the crime. They get out and they get paid like 2.5 mil. They can't get that time back. They've gotten older. Time. You're losing. You've lost time. I don't care what amount of money they give you. You've lost time. And that's what kills me the most as this continues to go along every single day. Every single day. Man, that's another day lost. Oh my gosh, that's another week lost. Oh my goodness, there's another month lost. Oh my gosh, it's the turn of the year. That's 2 more months lost. And they still have this right here going. That's time, man. And it's dwindling. It's just dwindling. And that kills me. That bothers me. And as a supporter, I feel like it's like, why haven't they gotten rid of him yet? Griff and Green. It's a package deal.
It's no rhyme or reason to it. These people are incompetent, Lex. That's my standpoint on it too. Is that this David Griffin clown is this is incompetency. I mean, there's no
So you're
no
tanking
logical.
without actually tanking. That's what you're saying. Barry.
That's because the game plan is they don't have. The plan was to bring, like you mentioned, we don't have to go over it, but that was the game plan you astutely kind of rolled out there. The other part where they weren't counting on was the fact that Willie Green, they thought that Willie Green could navigate this treacherous terrain, and he couldn't, and the team is 5-25. Go ahead, DC, close out, brother.
Well, I'm gonna stamp my other point home that I stated for you, for Lex, and add a little more. But like my standpoint is this: you don't have a lot of teams, and excuses are not necessary or acceptable, but you do not have a lot of teams that lose their whole starting lineup. Once that happened, the incompetence was the fact that we didn't structure the roster right. We didn't trade BI when we should have. All of these things lead to their incompetence. They were definitely in on winning the season. Once they lost their whole starting lineup and the losses started to pile up, they're leaning into tanking. Like it's obvious. They don't care about winning. They can pin all of this shit on injuries and Willie Green. If they were going to fire David Griffin, they wouldn't do so during the season. I'm sure they had teams that done that before. The majority of the teams, they're going to go with firing their coach.
Man, the Pelicans ain't even like those teams. They might as well do something.
I love the passion and I love your spirit, Lex, but I'm just giving you a little dose of truth. You know what I'm saying? And
no, I already know the truth. I'm just saying they don't know
what.
I mean, it's confusing.
You need to go pray.
It's confusing to everybody because none of this stuff is making sense. Nobody knows what's going on. They don't even know. They're still figuring it out. Think about that.
That's what they tell us. I don't believe that. They didn't know.
These people are.
They didn't know. They stupid, but they ain't as stupid as they try to come off or as like they don't know what's going on. The truth is, the answers to what's going on is going to make certain people look bad. So they're going to go with all this other bubblegum fluff bullshit because you don't want to point the fingers where they need to be pointed.
Breaking news, DC, they already
breaking news. They're right. They look bad. But you said the person had a mental disorder, right? Very bad. You said the person has a mental disorder, right, Q? So, like that person in their mind, they still think they can slither from up out of this. And you know what? To be honest, I think he's actually right because I don't think Miss Benson is that hip. She gonna go for the fire Willie Green shit, and then he's finally gonna be on the hot seat after firing Willie Green because there's nowhere else to go. Trajan is out of here. You can't blame Bryce. This is the person you picked to train up. So if Bryce fuck up, that's on you too. Willie Green, out of here. Now, what's wrong with this next coach? Zion gets traded, or if Zion, God forbid, Zion comes out and requests for a trade, it's over for David Griffin. Because I think that's the number one reason he put in place. They got him because they thought he could manage the Zion situation. And he's failed miserably with that shit. He's
been shoot. So, he's got that under control. The power struck little thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not
super power struck.
Yeah.
But as far as them showing signs of firing Willie Green, you're not going to see it. Because the whole thing is they trying to have this united front of being behind him. They still gassing Willie up. Well, it's okay.
Yeah, they stuck on family. They stuck on being body and family.
Bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody believes in that.
Bullshit. It's bullshit, Lex. They don't believe that shit. They telling Willie Green all of this bullshit. And like Q said, Q pointed it out. And he just has a different endpoint than I do. He said Willie Green is a dead man walking. They walking him up to the slaughter. They telling Willie Green everything he need to hear to stay comfortable in his losing. You hear me? That's why he ain't making no drastic changes. Obviously, the man don't want to lose. He losing sleep and shit. But
no, he does want to lose.
I don't think he
This
wants.
dude,
To
I
this
think-
dude
I
was
think
playing
he's-
sorry
he's
the last 2 seasons. He's
He
been
doesn't-
playing
He's
sorry.
psychologically
He ain't-
programmed.
He
to
ain't
lose,
even
Lex.
playing checkers, and he ain't nowhere near
it's in
playing
his-
chess.
It's
Nah,
in his
Lex, I don't-
psyche. It's in
Yeah,
his
I don't.
psyche to lose.
I just think he don't have is he don't have
Yeah, he's a
he
loser.
don't have
He don't want to
he
lose.
want
though.
he wants to
I
win,
can
but
see-
he,
No, he
I can
does
see
not.
he don't want to
I don't
lose.
see it.
nah,
I
you-
don't
you-
see it. Man,
you-
I wish y'all could
boy.
see me when I'm out coaching my team. Because
I
let me
mean-
tell you something, it's a huge difference.
I'm sure you're gonna
Coaches
bring
matter.
the fire.
Co-
And I've seen winning coaches, and he doesn't have it.
Hold on,
I see
Lex.
it in
He
his
don't.
demeanor, in his face.
I say
and,
he
and
don't.
in the boy in his timber.
So you think your man
Okay,
go out
oh,
there every game
different.
and he wants
Oh.
to take a L? That's what you're saying?
Yes, he shows it. You know why? You know why? Ask me why. Ask me.
Why, Lex? Why, Lex?
Because
Lex, not
this
all coaches are
dude
created equal.
will not go and do his homework. How
do
many
homework.
close games? How many close games? How can you say that you want to win and dude, you don't go and study plays? You don't go, you're not studying your team. You're not putting guys in the right place. You don't have any
It looks like
plays.
trigonometry to him,
And
Lex.
you know you don't know any plays, and you're not going to go do your homework to learn plays.
But Lex, you said it yourself.
That look, hey, man, let me tell you something. A coach who wants to win will go out of their way to learn and grow what they need to grow in. They're going to go and learn the game. The game does not stop growing. You have to continuously learn. When you stop learning, you're not growing anymore. That's in anything. That's in anything. You have to continue to learn. You have to continue to step outside of your comfort zone so that you can grow. You can't stay stagnant. Look, I've said this many times. When I look at the league, I'm looking around the league. Do you see how aggressive these teams are on trying to win?
Yeah,
They're
we've seen it tonight.
changing pieces. They're trading. They're trying to develop their guys. Like they're aggressive. Like look at the West right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like teams are really trying to compete. They're trying to compete. What are the Pelicans doing? They're delayed. They're like sitting ducks and you're not moving. When you're not moving and you're just standing still, you're not growing. The game passes you by. That's what happened to a lot of coaches. You know what, Big Q? You talk about staying, right? You talk about how the game passed him by. How many times has that happened to coaches? They're stuck in a timeline because they stopped growing.
Usually that happens with winning coaches, though.
Okay, well the thing
You
is,
can't talk about losing coaches, DC.
but the thing is that that's what happens. You cannot think that I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and year after year, the game is evolving, the game is changing, and you have to be able to grow and change with it. And that's what's happening with the Pelicans. They're not growing or changing with the trends of the game. Man, look, listen. Who are they talking about in the
like 2 years
on media day? They weren't talking about the Boston Celtics, the team who just won the championship. They're the defending champs. You know who they talking about? They're talking about the Warriors, a team who won the championship how many years ago? Somebody tell me.
That's the idea. Yeah, but
You're stuck. You're stuck. You're not with the times. Why is everybody
everybody
Boston Celtics?
Everybody trying to play like the Warriors, though, Lex.
No, but the Boston Celtics have transcended that. They've evolved that. Because you know what? Now you have guys, every single position, they're two-way players. Look at their team right now. Look at their starting five.
Yeah, but Willie don't come from that coaching tree. Willie comes from the West Coast side of things. That's why he attributes a lot of his bullshit.
Man, if
to
this
what's
ain't
going
no
on
West
with the
Coast thing, this is a league thing. Open your eyes.
It's a signature effect that they have. That's why he kind of lends it to Golden State because he comes from over there. So he likes
He got positionless basketball too, right?
You know what? You can't have positionless basketball when you have players that have deficiencies.
I knew that was gonna set you up.
Not everybody
call you
on
a
this
chicken,
team
you
is
better
a
cut it out.
positionless basketball player. There's only a few guys who can play positionless basketball
I
in
agree.
this league.
Lex, but this is the thing, you know, I don't want to have a long journey because this is a show within itself. The Pelicans are Willie Green is definitely eligible to be fired in my book. Absolutely. You can't be 5-25 and tell anybody that's worth anything, hey, we're gonna keep this guy here because of the injuries. We know they're gonna try it, but see, I don't have any faith in it. Let's just put it on the table and I'm gonna turn it over to DC. I have zero faith in the Pelican organization. Let's just say that. Why? Because they haven't given me anything to be faithful about. This has been an up and down team for the longest. This year has been a disaster. How they've handled the offseason was a 50% thing. They took a lot of this uncertainty into the season. You see players changing their representation. That's going to present a different issue at a certain period of time when guys get fully healthy. There is so much going on, and David Griffin is the one that set all this up. He's a dumbass. He put instead of hiring a competent general manager, a veteran guy that can help him sort out the mess, he gets an inexperienced guy here he can manipulate and control. He gets a coach that he brings in here that he can manipulate and control. That the guy has no, and no disrespect to Willie, but you sold your soul to take that job. Nobody would have took the Pelicans job if the general manager VP guy would have told him, hey man, you can have the job, but we got to pick all your assistant coaches.
And then they
That was like we some real disrespectful shit, Q.
It was, and he took it though. He took it.
He took it. So we know what kind of dude Willie Green is.
I'm talking about what you said after you said no disrespect to Willie.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's the truth. You can't dispute that. I invite Griffin and Bryson and all those guys come up here and talk about what the fuck going on with your team. Because in the end, none of them.
They're gonna get fired after they come up here. Come on,
I have zero faith in the Pelicans organization.
And look, we need to make as many.
They don't have a plan. Whatever he gave you, remember, it's always it's nothing never specific. It's always generalities. And I've cautioned you guys to watch out for people that's talking like that. The basketball cult nonsense that he talked about, I've constantly called that out. I've called out his octopus nature to the point where we branded him the octopus because he's a control freak. He hires people he can manipulate and control within the organization. I pinpointed all of this, and this is a result of it, where you got an easily controllable coach that doesn't have any fight or desire in him to do anything except for just walk the line. And then a general manager who should be talking to you about what's going on with the team, but he's quiet. So, and Griffin likes to talk, but he's quiet because he knows when to pop out and when not to pop out. This is dangerous from the pop out now. But like I said, this can't go on. But I'm gonna tell you, I have faith in you. I have faith in the support base because I know for a fact, I know about human behavior, especially people that support teams. If the team loses and stumbles and fumbles and bumbles, then the support base will abandon them until they get it right. They will withdraw their funds. They still watch the game, but they won't buy their shit. That's why, and that's enough, because nobody in that organization is worth losing that amount of money, the tens of millions of dollars that they're getting from the family base. Nobody in that building is worth more to lose all that money, except for Gail. She's the burn. So they'll move and shake and bake to get these people. It's only a matter of time before this happens. That's just what it is. We've seen this happen countless times throughout the NBA. No matter who you are, eventually you have to succumb to that. You cannot present an inferior product with Zion and this team having all these people on it, all these draft pick players on it, and we're talking about playing for a draft selection of some guy they probably ain't going to develop and even have a spot for. I mean, what are we talking about? But go ahead, DC, close out.
Draymond Green. No, Zion is a supercharged Draymond Green. Sometimes you have to give players the ability to dominate. After David Griffin said these two phrases, I pretty much knew it was over. And he probably had been in the front office for all of maybe 30 days before I heard that shit. So everything that's happening now isn't a surprise to me. And far as the draft pick, to end off what you're saying, because I ain't gonna keep going back and forth with the other thing. Guess we all have, different standpoints on it, but they leaning in the tank to me. but their incompetence has definitely got them there. Go ahead and cue it. You got your soundboard up there. Just go ahead and hit the button before you cut me off and make me forget my point.
Well, it's kind of late. Timing. You gotta get that timing right, man.
Go ahead, keep talking. What you
You
stop
put
talking?
a big soundboard up there like he about to flash some shit. You been hitting the buttons all day. What? All that bullshit. But
What?
Exactly. But anyway, David Griffin, man, he's gonna throw Willie Green under the bus. We all know what's coming. More than likely, it's gonna be on the back end of the season, or might make it all the way to the offseason. And the draft picks are going to happen, or they're so concerned with the draft picks because we got to look at the current climate. We're in a position of possibly losing Brandon Ingram for nothing. How do you mitigate that loss?
That's their fault.
That is their fault. But if you're a GM and you want to try to puff your chest out and still make yourself look good, how do you mitigate that loss? In another high-end draft pick. So
and
that's definitely coming. CJ McCullough is out of here probably, but more than likely, if he keep playing like how he played tonight, that might not be till next year when he's on the expiring.
Man, that dude is trying to star.
Yeah, he really won't be the guy, kind of. But
yeah, he does.
you got two major money guys that's getting wiped out. We can't sign anybody in free agency. You know, our organization is always built on trades. And ain't really a whole lot to get out there on the trade market as far as that would fit was good. You can't really trade Zion because you didn't mess you up in his image. Oh my God, David Griffin should just be fired alone on what they've done to Zion's image. Like they haven't put anything in place to be able to protect his image. They were too worried about babying him instead of just protecting his image and being hard on him. But are putting the right things in place because I think he will respond to, an alpha leader. But we don't want to get those because might step on the toes of David Griffin. I think he's truly scared of men like that.
Losing mentality.
Who is the next coach is the main thing. And if that gets effed up, then I think we'll get our wish of getting David Griffin out of here sooner than most people expect him to be. Because if he doesn't get this next coaching hire right, it can't be a coach that sticks around for 2-3 years. Like he's got to get a guy that's going to be long tenured. So he has to get this right. I don't have a lot of faith in him getting it right because of his personality. It would almost have to fall in his lap, or maybe Rich Paul will tell him what coach to get. That could always happen. So, nonetheless, we're going to be right back here with the next game, talking about another L, and we're going to continue to do this for the rest of the month until we possibly steal a game from maybe the Washington Wizards. And yes, that is a real maybe. I got a question mark there. I'm not sure they can beat the Wizards. The Wizards actually play at times like they want to win. We did tonight, but even when we play like we want to win, we lose. So the Pelicans are faced with a situation, man, that it's going to be hard to get out of. I'm waiting for the team to play a lot of the younger guys and stay competitive like I saw tonight. That's really my only expectations for the team. And we're going to have to start doing the draft picks early. So we all need to start looking at March Madness. We're going to have to be locked in on that. We got to look at all the guys coming up now and really start thinking about what the Pels are going to do in the future, or what we would like them to do in the future, because a lot of times they come and get some of their best ideas from shows like this and others because they don't know what to do. I agree with y'all. They don't know what to do, but they are foolish enough to still think that they can turn this season around, which is why Willie Green is still the coach, and he will remain the coach until whenever they decide to move on somewhere towards the end of the season and give it goes maybe a 10 to 20 game sample size look of what he could possibly be and see if he'll be the next coach, because maybe that's the next coach and they already know that and we don't. And they just showing them to us. Who knows?
All right, DC. Appreciate that, brother.
Did we already talk about the Houston game?
Yes.
No need.
You want to give a quick prediction on that game, Lex?
Where's the game gonna be at?
It'll be in the Smoothie King Center.
It's here, baby. It's still.
Nah, I said that for a reason, DC. Oh, I was waiting for your punchline. Does it matter?
It really don't.
You know what I'm saying?
You know the funny thing,
man,
Lex,
you were supposed to be on that.
when you over there by the Smoothie King Arena, you know they got the Superdome over there, and they got a place called Championship Square.
Oh,
and
Lord.
every time I
Isn't it
pass
just
Championship
Champion
Square to the left, Championship Square. God damn, Q. Every time I look to the left. You have any more insight you would like to add on that? Or can I just finish my statement?
That's what I thought it was. Go ahead, bro.
I think he's trying to imply
what was that?
Him.
What was that, Q?
Interrupting him.
I said I just said it. I thought it was Champion Square. I didn't know they call it Championship Square. That's what I thought. I don't know. Go ahead. Go ahead, DC.
Okay. Well,
thought you was talking about a different place.
Championship Square. I actually said the location. You know.
Oh, okay.
Right outside the Superdome and by the Smoothie King Arena. You know.
Oh, okay.
Every time I walk past it, and then I look at the Smoothie King Arena. Is that right, Q? Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, they got two. One in Jamaica. I mean, no, you got it right, brother. You straight.
Hey, just letting y'all know, James is in the building.
Cool Runnings Arena.
All right, what's that in James?
Yeah,
it's such an oxymoron. It's such an oxymoron, man. You see that, and then I just look to the other side and I see perpetual losers. So hopefully,
which side? Both
that'll change at some point. No, at least the Saints. We know we even built a little history over the last 15, 20 years. You know, we got a championship in there, playoffs here, there, bunch of players after 09 still. But the Pelicans, though, man, it's like all that to say. That's why we don't have a home court advantage. Because when you think about it, you see losers. We have even our arena says loser. You know, like if you go in there, some of the seats and shit is just trash. You know, the food to represent New Orleans, it really ain't that good. Like
that's why I said
we got.
What?
If you do go up in there, you gotta thank man.
I'm talking about the arena and the fact that our arena screams loser because our arena ain't shit. It don't house enough people. We're actually below the standards, you know, in the NBA for that.
Yeah.
It's old and outdated. Matter of fact, sometimes I might pass by the arena at night and then, you know, I say Smoothie King. That mug might say smooth and the other letters are blacked out and it say Kung. Don't even have the G for the king.
What?
Like, oh, come on, man. So you don't understand that, Q? You got SMO, all the other letters, they don't light up at night. Then you got KIN.
They didn't pay the bill, DC. They didn't pay the bill.
No, Lex, they paid the electricity bill. You know how I know? Because they take it out my goddamn taxes. We pay the electricity bill. The sign is messed up. You ain't lying.
Well, hey, they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay somebody to go up there and fix it.
There's so many things that's wrong. That's wrong, man. What's going on? And you know, when you say they're stealing money,
they are.
The people who hear and we see it, when we see shit like that, that's exactly what you feel. Like, man. Then you got Zion, a big poster of Zion, like by the parking garage over there. And I'm like, man, Zion. And then you look on the injury report and he's out indefinitely. Like, well, damn, this is the 10th game I came to the season. He's still out indefinitely. Got a big ass sign of him over there, like you can see him or some shit. It's just so many things wrong when you're looking outside. I know for a fact, as well as Big Q, if I'm a player and I could ride past this shit in the bus and see all this before the game. You don't think these dudes be ripping the shit out them during the game, saying some of this shit that I just pointed out to you? On top of the fact that we 5-25, it's almost like a disadvantage home unadvantage, because they ain't be proud about being at home. Other than the people, the supporters in there, we're wonderful people, man. We bring great vibes and energy, but you ain't really giving the people a whole lot to bring great vibes and energy too. So
yeah, that's
we
because
ain't
it
got
ain't
no
consistent.
home arena advantage.
If you don't bring it consistently, it's not going to be first nature, which is actually weird. You know what? What you said earlier, DC, like the Pelicans actually played faster. You know what I'm saying? You saw the pace that they were playing with. But in order to play at that pace, you gotta bring the energy. You have to bring it. I said the last time, like, for this team to be depleted like it has been, they can't take any time off during the game. You have to bring it. Because that's one thing, effort, heart, will, energy, that's something that the other team can't take away from you. They may be able to take away shots, and then as far as the whole philosophy of the game, ball movement and player movement is the hardest thing to guard. It has not changed. It's the hardest thing to guard. And we've seen where the team, they move, but then all of a sudden things become stagnant because CJ may start dancing, and then he starts feeling himself, then smelling himself. You know what I'm saying? When you start playing stagnant, that hurts everything that you have going on. You're basically changing the whole complexity and the momentum of the game, all because you had one person on the squad who wanted to go one-on-one. And they did that for consecutive trips down the court. Like you can't do that stuff. But when it comes to energy and you're talking about pace, you have that pace because you from the jump, you're coming out with a lot of energy. And that's why I always like, what do we need to do? Big Q, you asked that same question. What do we need to do in order to win this game? You got to come out with the right energy. That's the first thing. And not only that, you come out with that high energy. You can't match the other team. You can't match them. You have to exceed their energy.
Then sustain it.
Yeah, exactly. And then sustain it for 48 minutes.
Now that's the problem.
Yeah. But the thing is, they know that they need to do this, right? But they don't. That's so inconsistent that they start reverting back to going through the motions. Going through the motions, and nobody's moving. You're losing 50-50 balls. You're not getting rebounds. And guess what? For this team, because you don't have like a Dennis Rodman on this team, okay? The team has to collectively hit the boards. You can't rely on one or two people to hit the boards. It has to be everybody. And you know how I know that can happen? We have a prime example. When you look at OKC, they don't have Chet Holmgren, and for a while they didn't have Hartenstein, but yet they were leading the league in rebounds. OMG. Are you serious, Lex? Yes. They were without their bigs, and they were out rebounding teams. You know why? Because it was a collective team effort. The energy and the effort was there. They wanted the rebound. You gotta want it. You can't teach that. You gotta want to win. You have to want the possession. And then you gotta want to give it to let the other team, hey man, yeah, y'all gonna pay for it. We got this rebound. We off to the races. You have to have those things. And look, they knew that once they found out that they were without Chet and they were without Hartenstein, they immediately knew what was up. Hey man, it's gonna take all of us to get those rebounds. It's going to take all of us to win those 50-50 balls. We got to want it than the other team. We got to want it more than them. When you have that type of mentality and it shows in your play, that makes a huge difference between winning and losing. That makes a huge difference. And then you add that when you add having a great coach that can put you in the spots. And you know what? Listen. The whole philosophy with the OKC, and I say them because they're just a prime example of, of just they're young and they play like a veteran team. But I think it's funny because I look at them and they basically hunt the mismatch. That's their strong philosophy. That's the strongest identity of their whole game plan. They're hunting the mismatch. And they stay patient. Yeah, we're not going to rush. We're going to hunt the mismatch. Where's the mismatch? Where is it? They keep doing that. And if it takes the whole 24 seconds, they will do that and they stay disciplined with it. I think that's remarkable for a young team.
Yeah, that is because that's who they are. That's their identity. These guys are active. They love playing defense. They're active in the passing lanes. They turn you over, and then they are a really good transition team. They can hit the three ball. They got a leader and they got a philosophy. They got a coach that knows what he's doing, and it all flows downhill. We don't have an established offense that we go to consistently. Our defense breaks down pretty perpetually. Consistently. This team is an excuse-making team. All these other teams, like you're talking about Boston's and the OKCs of the world, these teams have had an identity for a while, and we have a team that is just not ran correctly. So we have work to do. We're not going to fix all of these problems overnight. The first thing we need to do is have a coach switch. I still think that this will happen very soon because it's just commonsensical. We're not going to support this team, and people are not going to go down there to watch a five and whatever team screw around and lose games every night. I mean, that's just not what it is. And plus, the Saints have made it bad on them already. The Saints, coupled with the Saints have been doing along with them, man, this is not going to play. So the first thing they can do is make the coach change, and they will start winning some games because Borrego is better than Willie Green. He will establish an identity, and they will start picking up wins. They will win the games that they're supposed to win, and they'll be competitive in the ones against tougher teams. They'll establish an identity, and you'll see them turn into a semblance of what we thought they were supposed to be. Now, all this other stuff with David Griffin trading Trajan Langdon, the stuff that's tied to Zion Williamson's contract, and him and all this stuff is on his dumb ass because he should have hired somebody that can help him with it as opposed to a guy he got to train while he fixed the mess. The smart guy, he got to be the smartest man in the room always. Got to be the smartest man in the room.
Behind excuses, Q.
Yes.
These all sound like great excuses.
All great excuses, man. You know, we dealing with this and that. It's not going to work.
Don't have enough.
It's not going to work, bro. I'm telling y'all, it's not going to work. We're not going to let you work it. I mean, it might work if we don't see it coming. We done had 4 or 5 years worth of injuries. No, what else is new? We're not going for the injury excuse, Griffin. You better get your ass in there and start working and getting Willie Green off this goddamn team. That's the bottom line. It's either him or you. Me personally, I want both of y'all out of here, but we gonna get Willie out of here first, and then you going too.
Griffin Green gotta go.
They gotta go. You stand in the way of progress, man.
Because I don't even want to see who the next coach he trying to hire. I don't even want to see it, dog. You cheat, and you have a power problem.
They're gonna be.
You can't handle it. So and that's not how this organization.
It's gonna be Borrego. Borrego's gonna pick up
this
the wins.
5-game home, and Borrego still ain't gonna be the coach. Willie's still gonna be the coach after they lose 5 games at home. Just watch.
Man, Willie gonna still be the coach after the trade deadline.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how this
When
is
Zion come back, whenever Zion come back, we might get another coach.
And then the thing is, the Pelicans
Don't
are
make
the
no sense to do it before Zion come back, bro.
Record-wise, the Pelicans Saints suck too, but the Pelicans are the second worst team record-wise in the entire NBA behind the Washington Wizards. The Wizards have a reason why.
Oh man, worse than Detroit.
They're the second. I want to say the second worst.
That's crazy.
They're the second worst team in the NBA. So if you couple that and you look at what, like me and DC talked about that before, Washington roster, it's a stark contrast between what we got here versus what they got. You ain't gonna use the injury excuse. We've been dealing with injuries for the last 5 effing years, Griffin. You're done on that. Don't even try it. So anyway, we're gonna get out on that, man, because
to that last question, man. He said, "Isn't Zion evaluations?"
Zion's
evaluations was supposed to be earlier this week. I think we probably about 5 days away from when they were supposed to give an update. They didn't give us an update, but the show me and BQ did prior to the Knicks, we gave a video of Zion. He looks in good shape. To be honest, he actually looked a little smaller than when he was playing, and he looked pretty good. So they didn't say anything. One of the media people, they had a video. I think Fletcher Mackle came from him, and you see Zion in there looking slim and trim, shooting some shots. I guess that's the evaluation you was looking for, Jay Carvello. You go back and check out who did we play before the Knicks, Q? Who was that?
We need to see where's Jose? Like, have they said anything about him? Because Jose got a hand the day after.
Yeah, Houston, Pacers, Knicks. I mean, Pacers, Houston, Knicks, Nuggets.
Come on, Lex. We already talked about this. We said Jose was going to be back before Zion.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, they both got the same thing. I mean, and we saw his timeline is
like this week to come back. If it's just a little hamstring,
you probably get an alert after. You probably get an alert after Christmas or something like that. You get an alert after Christmas about what's going on with Zion.
I mean, because the thing is, man, this is just ungodly.
Zion is the rest of going basketball like he'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. That's the alert you're gonna get.
I ain't trying to. You know what? I ain't trying to hear none of that.
You gotta be because you got to put together shit with these teams because this team they don't do what they're supposed to do.
This is just irritating.
I'm glad
I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Not thinking about this stuff because this can drive somebody crazy.
Not unless you know what you're dealing with, Lex. You gotta know.
You got to consider the source. Have to consider the source, and the source is horrible.
These people are bad. All right. So anyway, with that being said, man, we're gonna leave it right there, man. I appreciate you. That's right, DC. Very, very bad.
I do want to share this though. Do you all know that? Joel, he pointed this out during the game. The Pelicans, out of all the teams, have the most back-to-backs within the season. Did y'all know that?
Great.
The Pelicans.
Think that's something? Yeah, the Pelicans have the most back-to-backs compared to any other team in the league. Joel said that on tonight.
Yeah, he probably threw that in to be a little excusatory to the Pelicans' failings away, and that's a part of the game. With him being,
I mean, I didn't look at it that way.
We can use the L's.
I don't consider it as a issue at all. I think that this team is supposed to be a playoff team, and back-to-backs and shit like that shouldn't hurt them. They shouldn't. They've been better.
16 games this year.
When it comes down to battle and with injuries, I mean, this ain't nothing new. This team been dealing with this for a long time, man. In the end, they should be able to cope and be able to adjust around what's going on. That's why they're getting paid for it. They're not getting paid to sit up here and make no goddamn excuses. That's what I don't care about the excuses. If they don't like the back-to-backs, get the fuck out the league and let somebody else get in there to coach the team. Get your money up and go somewhere if you can't handle what these people putting on you, man. That's the bottom line. Bottom line is you making this money here in the NBA, and there's no excuses. You must produce. This is a win league. If you don't win and you lose a lot, you got to go. You got to be fired. That's nothing new. Injuries will not be tolerated. If
What
you
about
lose,
family?
you fail, you won't go.
Man, forget family.
The only family
So
you gonna
if I lose,
Family.
we not family anymore.
Family,
Hell with all
joy, proud,
We not family. if I
incredible,
lose?
Damn all
and
that.
force, and credit. Those words are banned.
man.
I'm
You
tired
know,
of all them words. Oh, and mechanical, or excuse me, organic, okay,
no, man.
and meaningful.
You be
All
cool.
them-
We
all
don't.
them
What,
words.
what about
And
We're cool,
good
dude.
human
what about
beings.
what about great
that phrase is
great young
banned.
men, Lex?
DC, I gotta leave
No,
off.
that's along with good human beings.
Yeah,
And
we
them
gotta
words
leave
are
it there.
banned.
We gotta leave
don't-
it there. Fam.
And they can take all them words and shove it.
Big
You know,
Q
y'all
right
know
there.
where to shove it.
Nah,
You
we
know
good.
what I'm
We
saying?
good on that, man. The hell with the family.
Ain't
This-
nobody
this-
trying to hear them
guy-
words. And all them words on the board in the gym.
I can't use mindfulness no more. I can use mindfulness, right?
DC,
Nah,
we gotta
those
leave it there.
words
That's a
are
good
not
one.
helping. And
Gotta
you know
go.
what?
That's
They
a good
played
one.
out.
We gotta go, y'all. We gotta get out of here because we keep on busting these people ass all night, and really, strictly, I gotta do some stuff tomorrow morning. The hell with David Griffin. We'll get at him in this pathetic mess of what he call a basketball team next week. We'll continue to get at him. We got plenty.
Oh,
of
yeah,
ammo.
we got
Do we
the
got
Saints
another
tomorrow.
game before?
Almost forgot.
Do we got another game before Christmas?
No.
Okay. Well,
We
Merry
got-
Christmas, Big Q and
Shout out to
DC
you too.
and
Lex.
everybody in the
Hey,
chat. Merry
happy
Christmas.
holidays to y'all too.
Be
And
safe.
you, Lex.
Don't eat too much because you got to work out the next day.
That's right.
Happy late birthday,
DC.
Stacy.
Happy holidays to you guys as well, DC. Happy holidays to you on the island. Shout out to everybody.
Happy
out there.
Hanukkah to you too, Big Q. Happy
Pick up
Hanukkah to you.
DC, I'm not Jewish, but thank you. But appreciate y'all for being in the building as well, and I appreciate
I
Oh.
y'all.
got this one for y'all though.
We're
Joy
gonna get-
to the world. Okay, I'm finished.
DC got a good call he wants to put up there. All right, so anyway, yeah, DC,
Yeah.
Like,
No joy. No
What?
joy.
what? All right, we going, man.
I mean, we can play with force though, Lex.
Play with force. All right, here we go, y'all. Let's go.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell him that. Birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumping where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You can double, you can press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform's store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. Remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and who that too.